And welcome back to the Cincinnati Reds franchise mode here on MLB The Show 24. We've got a longer episode coming today like some of y'all have requested, and because we're going to have both the All-Star break and a regular season game in the same episode, and we're starting things off with a trade for a new catcher. We're going to go check in on the Sacramento Athletics, and they're always willing to sell their team, except for when it comes to actually selling the ownership. But we're going to trade Stuart Fairchild, who unfortunately I think his time has just ran up on this team. Esteury Ruiz kind of does everything Fairchild does, but better, and two relief pitchers in our minor league system for Shea Langeliers. Now, this is a much-needed trade because Tyler Stevenson has started the season batting 150. So if we can get a guy like Shea Langeliers, who has a good arm behind the plate, not the best defensive catcher, but has a good arm and can hit for some power, it's all we need. We will have, of course, Yan Gomes remain the backup, and Tyler Stevenson will go down to Louisville in AAA. And also, with Fairchild gone, we are going to bring in Adam Duvall just to be a pinch hitter off the bench. That's all his use is on this team, and I think it works really well. Bryce Harper's coming back very shortly. Sal Stewart's been moved down to AAA. We brought in Austin Hendrick just because it gives us a lefty off the bench too. Both him and Rizzo makes more sense. And really, Sal Stewart's been struggling mightily so far at the major league level this season, batting again around 150. Christian Javier gets moved to Detroit for Jonah Heim. Just a 1-for-1 deal right there between two American League teams. And the Reds finally get Bryce Harper back. Obviously, we're still waiting on Teoscar Hernandez, but look at this winning streak the Reds have built up. I believe it's 6 games, looking for 7 here with this game we're going to play tonight against the Atlanta Braves. The Reds doing very well for themselves in the standings, and here you are, the 54-32 Reds taking on the Braves, who actually have a losing record at 43-44 from Great American Ballpark here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We'll see who are our all-stars by the end of this video, but you can expect likely Elly De La Cruz to be in that spot, batting .301, and I don't know who else. I mean, our starting pitching's been very good. I think we can potentially see Andrew Abbott be an all-star. I think Hunter Green definitely is deserving of that, and same definitely with Jose Urquidy, who's got around a 2 ERA this year. I think all those guys are more than deserving for the all-star nod. Also, Camilo Doval has been posting a very good season out of the bullpen. We'll see what we get. Again, that's later to come with today's video. But first, we're taking on the Braves, and Andrew Abbott, who is posting a 3.93 ERA, will get the start tonight. Again, did a lot better to start the season. He has kind of fallen off a little bit, but Abbott does come into today's game with around that 4 ERA. An update on Rhett Lauder after that first start that he struggled in against San Francisco. I mean, he did, start to settle in as that game progressed. He's done pretty well. ERA sitting at about 3 so far for Rhett Lauder. I think we have found our 5th starter, at least for now. Abbott's going to go 1-2-3 here in this top of the first, getting Ronald Acuna right now on the pop out. And folks, if you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some Reds franchise mode here on the channel. Grayson Rodriguez has been incredible for the Braves. Could be the All-Star game starter, 1.91 ERA. We'll see if the Reds can potentially do their guy Jose Urquidy some good and get Urquidy the starting job for the All-Star game, because both Urquidy and Rodriguez have about the same ERA. Here's your Reds lineup. It goes De La Cruz, Friedel, Harper, Tucker, Benson, McLean, Langeliers, Steer, and Ruiz in the 9. Of course, Ruiz still filling in for Teoscar Hernandez, as Friedel right there is going to draw a walk. Here comes Bryce Harper on a 2-1, lines one back up the middle. That ball is going to get through. Friedel looking first to third. He is in there. They're on the corners with 1 out for the Reds. Something also to note for the Braves, they are dealing with some injuries. No Michael Harris. Some of these other guys are still hurt as well. We'll see how that plays into today's game. Oh, and Kyle Tucker, that's the one thing we couldn't have had right there. Tucker grounds into a double play, and the Reds will get out this inning with nothing. Tucker has struggled this season. As Abbott will get Matt Olson looking right there. Tucker, sitting around that 230 mark. This is a guy who was a perennial all-star in the American League. He's been an all-star back-to-back seasons over there. Did really well for the Astros last year, and he's coming to Cincinnati, got his money, and kind of hasn't played all that well. But it's a situation where, we're not going to move a guy who's making $30 million. We gave him, I think, 6 years? There's no moving on from him. We just got to hope he figures things out over here and doesn't become like an Anthony Rendon, right? So we'll see what happens with Kyle Tucker. Unfortunately, we are kind of stuck with him, but I do think there is going to be a time where he's going to be able to turn the things around, and hopefully it does come in time for the postseason, because personally, I really do like Tucker's swing in this game. And again, hopefully he can figure things out. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny seeing Rhys Hoskins as an Atlanta Brave. Hopefully he becomes a Met in the near future. Taylor Trammell gonna strike out on that sweeping curve. Nick Matten on the 1-1 pitch. Maton Matten gonna hit that ball in right field. Kyle Tucker, though, cannot get there. It's gonna be a 2-out single for the Braves, their first of the ball game. Here comes Ignacio Alvarez, who will strike out in the circle change. Questionable why he's in the leadoff spot. He's a rookie third baseman for Atlanta, batting 167. Don't know why he's still in that spot. I can only assume it's because of the injury, maybe to Michael Harris, who's normally their leadoff guy, as Esteury Ruiz finally gonna get on with a drag bunt single or a push bunt single. You don't know how many times I've tried to do that in this game. De La Cruz strikes out, but Ruiz will swipe second base, so runner in scoring position with 2 outs for TJ Friedl on the 3-2 offering. Grayson Rodriguez changes speed on him and gets him on the slider. We go to the top of the 4th. Jared Kelenic will lead off the inning by striking out on that lefty-lefty matchup to Abbott. 1 gone for Ronald Acuna Jr., and Acuna will pull that fastball, but TJ Friedl is under it in left field to put him away. 2 gone for Matt Olson. Back-to-back All-Stars obviously in the lineup here for Atlanta, and that's what Olson's gonna do to you. Against a righty, against a lefty, it doesn't matter. Olson pulls it into right field. Can we get him at second, though? Not in time. Olson is in there with a 2-out double. Bringing to the plate, Sean Murphy on the 2-2, and Murphy goes down looking. Fastball up and in by Abbott, sets him down. As we go into the bottom of the 4th, that's a bad swing on my part. I normally don't take bad hacks like that with Bryce Harper, but right there, unfortunately, I did. However, Kyle Tucker got a blast one in the right field. It's on a line, though, and it's going to be played pretty well by Acuna. Not going to test it. We'll keep Kyle Tucker at first base for Will Benson, and Benson walks. So first and second, 1 out for Matt McLain on the 2-2 pitch. McLain hits one up the middle. That ball's going to get through. That should at least score Tucker. I mean, it's not going to score Benson, but Tucker is in there. And we'll have second and third with 1 out as the Reds have gone out to a 1-0 lead thanks to Matt McLain, who was actually the only guy who scored in our last game against the San Francisco Giants. But anyways, Shea Langeliers will get popped out. Unfortunately, not what we want right there at a Bangaliers. 2 gone for Spencer Steers, batting 300 on the season. Again, though, righty-righty's not really his matchup, and he will fly out into right. So the Reds, we're happy with the 1 run. Probably should have gotten more, but when you got a guy like Andrew Abbott who is dealing on the mound and striking out guys like Willy Adames, you feel good even with just this 1-run cushion. Rhys Hoskins, though, will walk. Sweeping curve in, misses. And here comes Taylor Trammell on the 2-1 pitch. Trammell! Deep right field. Kyle Tucker going back to the wall. This ball is out of here. Taylor Trammell gives the Braves a 2-1 lead. As soon as I was talking about, I feel great about having this 1-run lead with Andrew Abbott because he's been dealing, well, Taylor Trammell sends one in to the seats in right center field, and the Braves have gone up 2-1. Abbott will respond by getting that strikeout up and away. 2 gone for Alvarez, the leadoff man on the 3-2 pitch, and he will walk. Curve misses down. Here comes Kelenic on the 1-2 pitch. 1-0-1 for Abbott, and Matt McLain thankfully will pick up his pitcher. So Abbott has gone through 5. Still a 2-1 lead for the Braves, though, as Esteury Ruiz will strike out to start off the inning. And Grayson Rodriguez has done a great job, but here comes Elly De La Cruz. Perfect, deep center field. That ball is out of here. Elly goes 108 off the bat, and that was a moonshot into straightaway center field. Kinda didn't know why that wasn't a no-doubter. Elly De La Cruz has hit 22 home runs, and we are not even to the All-Star break yet. He is having a phenomenal season, an MVP-like season. He's only second right now in the race, only behind Juan Soto of the Arizona Diamondbacks. That is an MVP race we will look at for the rest of the season, but what a swing right there by Elly De La Cruz. By the way, new pitcher in for the Braves, it is Yency Almonte. He will get the inning right there to end with that ground out to Bryce Harper, but we will go now tied into the 6th inning, and Michael Kopech's now the pitcher for the Reds. 3.09 ERA so far in the season for the former starter from the Chicago White Sox, and he will go into the game and do exactly what he's supposed to do, get Ronald Acuna Jr. to pop out. Here comes Matt Olson on the 1-1. He will pull that pop-up into shallow right center field. There is one. Matt McLain will have 2 outs now for the 5 spot, and Sean Murphy, the catcher, on the full count. He will not bite, though, on the slider. Two gone still for Willy Adames. Can he pick up his catcher at first base? He will not. Spencer Steer will take the ground out, and we are still tied going into the bottom of the 6th. Kyle Tucker leads things off as he chops a sinker to second base. Play is made by Nick Matten. One down for Will Benson, and on the 1-2 pitch, he gets rung up on that. I'm not mad at him not swinging. Didn't look like a strike to me, as Matt McLean will get grounded out to second base. So we still are tied going into the 7th, and with Michael Kopech, he can let him go somewhat deep into his outings. We're going to let him go get Rhys Hoskins and then move to the lefty just to play the matchups. Here comes Drew Pomeranz, all-star last season, 1.82 ERA. Maybe he could be building to another all-star season, as he will get Taylor Trammell to pop out to Elly De La Cruz. And we've got two gone down this top of the 7th. Maton on the 3-2 pitch will swing at one, and that ball's actually going to get through. Matchup-wise, we're going to keep Pomeranz out there for the lefty, or actually it's a righty now in Ignacio Alvarez, but we have got Kelenic coming up next, so we're going to do this, and it works out in our favor. So we might actually bring Pomeranz back out there to start the 8th, but we'll see. Pierce Johnson now getting the call from the bullpen for the Braves, and he will see Shea Langoliers first in the 2-2! Shea Langoliers, deep right field, oppo shots out of here! Shea Langoliers, welcome to Cincinnati! He hit one the night before as well. Shea Langoliers, his 8th of the year, 403 feet. And again, if he can just be a better version of Tyler Stevenson, it kind of takes away the automatic out from our lineup. And I like Tyler Stevenson, but it just wasn't working out this year. And the reason why I didn't get rid of Tyler Stevenson was because, again, I still want the guy to be somewhat part of the future. But for now, the plan is keep Shea, keep both him and Stevenson, and those two guys can just, go back and forth and really just be a committee of catchers next season. And right now, again, we have Yan Gomes. Gomes right now is better than Stevenson. That's why Gomes is up right now. But next year, I don't expect to keep Gomes around. So we'll see what happens. Daniel Hudson now comes in after Pomeranz gets that first out of Jared Kelenic. You'll see Ron Acuna Jr. on the 1-2, and Acuna just not having a good night. He'll get popped out into foul ground. Bryce Harper has got it. 2 down, big out here of Matt Olson on the 2-1 pitch. Olson pulls one, but right in the glove of Kyle Tucker. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Aaron Bummer, the lefty in for the Braves, and he will get TJ Friedel swinging on a cutter. Here comes Bryce Harper on the 2-2, gets Harper as well on a slurve. Now here comes Kyle Tucker on the 2-1 pitch. Tucker will get popped out on that slurve, but it's fine. We go on to the top of the 9th. Camilo Doval has pitched back-to-back days, so we're giving the save opportunity to Mason Miller. Now again, Miller is not as good in this game as he is in real life, but he'll get the opportunity here, and he'll get Sean Murphy to pop out on that fastball. Yes, he doesn't have the velo he should have. He tops out about 100 in this game. He tops out really at 104 in real life, but it's fine. He gets both Murphy and Adames to pop out into right, and we are 1 out away. Here comes Rhys Hoskins on the 1-1 pitch. Hoskins gets popped out as well. Bryce Harper is under it, and that's your ball game. The Cincinnati Reds win here at home against the Atlanta Braves by a score of 3-2. Give the save to Mason Miller. Actually give the win, I believe, to Drew Pomeranz. And Andrew Abbott turned into 5 really good innings for us as well. And the Reds continue their winning ways. They are now at a 7-game win streak. Only needed 6 hits tonight to pick up the victory, but it is what it is. Again, the Reds win, and now we move on to the All-Star break, which we are doing in this video. Let's keep on simming. The wins keep on coming. We sweep the Braves, onto the Cubs. We will sweep them. The Royals series, win the first, win the second, and the third. Well, we have to go to the draft first. But still, it is an incredible win streak right now for the Reds. We will look at our pick in a second. Going to look at the top picks first before we get into that. Obviously, we did actually have a lottery pick last year because we missed the playoffs, and we have the 12th pick. So not bad, not the second positioning we had when we got Valenzuela a couple years ago. But Sean Palmeiro is the first pick. Guy looks pretty good for the Detroit Tigers. He's a starting pitcher. He is the #1 pick in the draft. Next up, it will be the Oakland Athletics, or the Sacramento Athletics. It will be Chad Frieden will be the 3rd pick for Sacramento. And now up, it will be the Chicago White Sox. They get Fernando Diaz, the starting pitcher. So with our first pick, I did a little bit more scouting this time. Well, the auto scouting went a little bit better. I think the pick here is Lloyd Hutchinson, right? High upside. The overall is not that bad. He's only 19. He's a center fielder. He's a switch hitting center fielder. I like the pick a lot. We go to the 2nd round. I think we're going to take this catcher here in Anthony Sato. I think it makes sense. potential's there, and now we can go after Andres Guerrero. Now, overall is not that high, 23 years old, I get it, but the potential's all there. He could be a really talented guy in the future. I get he's 23, but we'll see what happens. He could be a good guy that we could move potentially at a trade. We're going to take Maurice McDonald here. Again, 18 years old, could have some potential. We will see. Then I will go in the 5th round with Leo Vasquez, first baseman. Don't know what we're going to get. He's a JUCO guy, 19 years of age. I don't know. Then we're going to go again, pick based on potential. Last pick, it's going to be Bob Hedger. He's a right fielder, 22 years old. Probably nothing will come out of him, but we'll see what happens. Go to the All-Stars. Jose Urquidy is indeed the starter. He's 1, Rodriguez is 2, and Camilo Doval is the National League closer. Alexis Diaz was an All-Star too, but it's whatever. Elly De La Cruz, who's batting .310, is not the starting shortstop. It's Trey Turner. Will Benson gets the nod as well, so shout out to Benson, who is actually a free agent. But yeah, I don't know how Elly is not the starter over Trey Turner. Will Benson, again, shout out to him, man, at 27 years old, really putting together a nice season, batting .321, 18 home runs, a guy that I thought about trading multiple times, but I thought, hey, we'll keep him around. Shout out to Benson, he's an all-star. Urquidy, man, what a start to the year for him, 1.96 ERA, best pitcher in the National League so far. Elly De La Cruz, there he is. I guess the average is down to 294, but I mean, come on, I think he deserves it over Turner. I don't know. It's fine, we have 4 All-Stars, I'll take it. Again, if Bryce Harper wasn't injured, he'd probably be an All-Star too. So we're not gonna play the All-Star game. Instead, we're gonna play the Home Run Derby. You can probably guess, yes, Elly De La Cruz is in the Derby. Maybe Will Benson should have been here too, but Elly De La Cruz will participate, and look at the names participating in this. Judge, Ohtani, Trout, Soto, O'Neal Cruz, Elly De La Cruz, Julio Rodriguez, Yordan Alvarez, Aaron Judge. Oh my goodness. Ohtani beats Judge, and here comes Elly. And, you know, we're going to let this run this entire thing. I have not played the Home Run Derby yet this year. I find it funny also that the All-Star game is in the south side of Chicago, which I find interesting, but I mean, I get it, I guess. Elly going up against Mike Trout here in this first round. And yes, this portion of the video is going to take a little bit, but I'm also going to take this part of the video to talk about the future of this Reds team, as well as we look to the trade deadline, which I guess will be in the next episode. But I don't know how big of a deal it really will be for us, because when you're a team sitting at what we have right now, what, an 11-12 game winning streak at the All-Star break, a team that, again, is looking to be the #1 seed in the National League, which I do think we are going to be, and a team that, you know, should definitely be looking to win the World Series. There's really not much that we can do to upgrade the squad. I mean, you look at the bullpen, maybe where you're thinking potentially upgrading, but I really like every single guy that we do have there. Yeah, we don't have the elite listed names other than Camilo Doval. We've got a lot of veterans on the team in both Daniel Hudson, Drew Pomeranz, even a guy like Matt Strom's been around. Karinchak, I guess at this point, is a veteran as well. As De La Cruz going to take his first time out after hitting 7 home runs 2 minutes into his first round. Again, he, I believe, is the 5 seed. Trout is the 4, so we'll see what happens here. But I think our bullpen's fine. Again, I like Mason Miller a lot. He doesn't progress as I'd like him to. I think he kind of has the Christian Encarnacion Strand effect, where he doesn't really, you know, develop as he should in this game, but still I think he throws very hard, and he's been a pretty solid setup guy for us this season. Obviously, he just got the save in the last game we played against the Braves, and then Strom's been good for us. We haven't seen Gregory Soto that much this season, but Soto's been definitely doing his thing. He's one of the guys that I made sure to keep when we did sell at the deadline last season. I was like, all right, Gregory Soto and Mason Miller are going to be part of the future, so I'm going to keep these guys around. And same with James Karinchak as well. I think Karinchak's a very good bullpen arm to have, as Elly De La Cruz is killing the baseball. I mean, maybe not that one that only went 403, but De La Cruz is getting height on these, and my goodness, 469 off the bat right there. Let's hope Mike Trout doesn't have an amazing round here, because Elly De La Cruz is really showing himself right here and showing to the people that he is officially arrived. His last swing before the bonus will take him to 20, maybe? It's going to stay in the yards. So still 19 for De La Cruz going into his bonus round. I think 20 should be fine. I think Ohtani won with, what, 19, I think, against Aaron Judge? So 20 now for De La Cruz. He is absolutely gassed. The arms are burning for Elly. Likely his last swing right here, and that ball should be gone. I think it is. De La Cruz will get 21. Longest 469 here in this first round. Solid effort so far. We will see if Mike Trout can beat it. I will be pissed if he does, because Elly had a very good first round and hit more than both Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani did in the first round. So here's Mike Trout, 50 away from 500 on the career. We will fast forward. Okay, actually, Ohtani at 22. So De La Cruz did hit less, but Mike Trout only hit 15, so Elly De La Cruz moves on to the next round to take on Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani's at 20. Let's see if De La Cruz can get past that mark like he did in the first round. So he hit 21 in the last one. Let's see if De La Cruz can again replicate that and move on to the second round to advance to the other side of the bracket, where right now Juan Soto beat Julio Rodriguez and Yordan Alvarez beat the Pirates' O'Neal Cruz. So it's Alvarez and Soto on the other side of the bracket, and of course we got Shohei and Elly on this side. So the bullpen, I think, is fine. I like what we got of the starting pitching. I think we finally found our fifth starter, because you knew that it was going to be one of Drew Thorpe, Martin Valenzuela, or Rhett Lauder. We thought it was going to be one of those three guys. Obviously, we had Jackson Ferris. As Elly goes 469 again into deep right center field, which is nuts. But we thought it was going to be one of those three guys. And it ended up being the guy that we had all along, right? We traded for Kumar Rocker. I forgot about Kumar Rocker, too. So it was going to be one of those four guys. We traded for Kumar Rocker. We traded for Drew Thorpe. And for Valenzuela, we picked him in the draft. And I'm not saying any of those three guys aren't going to be major league pitchers. I think they all are going to be at some point in time. But for right now, for this specific run, the guy is going to be, I believe, and barring some drastic change in the second half of the season, it will be Rhett Lauder. Lauder, again, did well managing what he was given in that San Francisco start, right? Struggled early, but bounced back, got us 4 innings. He's been good ever since, as De La Cruz is mashing the baseball. He only needs 6 now to tie Ohtani in 1:50 if you include the bonus time. He's at 15 now. We just got to keep it going for Elly right now. But I think the starting pitching's fine, right? And we got a guy in Michael Kopech out of the bullpen, who is a starting pitcher still considered in this game, but really is a true long reliever for us, and a guy who can give us innings out the bullpen, who throws very hard, and a tough guy to match up against after the starter comes out the game. I really like what we have out of Michael Kopech in the bullpen. And then when you look at our starting lineup, really, when we get Teoscar Hernandez back, we are going to be a problem. Right, we still got guys off the bench who can really, give us solid work, right? I'm looking at Anthony Rizzo. I think, again, when Esteury Ruiz goes back to the bench with Teoscar being out, because a guy like Will Benson has really worked himself into the starting lineup permanently. And Elly De La Cruz, by the way, beats Shohei Ohtani. He needs 19 home runs to beat Juan Soto. It's something he's hit in both rounds so far, and it would be his lowest hitting round if he can just hit 19 and beat Juan Soto and prevent Soto from winning his second home run derby. I think Elly's going to get it. But yeah, Will Benson has put himself in a position where he is an everyday player for this team. He has done pretty well against left-handed pitching, right? And same with Spencer Steer. He has done decently enough against right-handed pitching to the point where we can keep both those guys in the lineup every single day. Friedel's been solid, right? McLean has been doing his thing. He has fallen off a little bit in production, but we will definitely keep Matt McLean around, obviously. De La Cruz is MVP level at this point, right? And the new guys as well. Kyle Tucker's the one guy who I'd say has been kind of disappointing this season, right? You might look at it, right? First time out of Houston, new team for the first time, or also, he finally got paid and maybe he's not playing as well as he should. But again, I have hope that Kyle Tucker can turn things around, because we're not in a position where we can trade Tucker. Tucker is going to be here for the foreseeable future. So you just got to hope he figures things out. And I think he's going to. I think he will eventually, and especially when we do get in the playoffs. I do like Kyle Tucker's swings. The stats are there. It's just not really translating into, or I guess the attributes are there. It's just not translating into batting average and stats just yet. But I think he'll figure it out, as Elly going to take his time out with only needing, 5 home runs to win the entire thing. He's got a full 2 minutes left, including the bonus. I think he's going to get it done. De La Cruz he's at 15 now. That one's going to go foul. He needs 4 more. Elly pulls one. That ball is out of here. He needs 3 more to beat Juan Soto. De La Cruz pulls it. That ball is out as well. 378. He needs 2 more. I don't know if that one is going to get out the park. Oh, it does. Look at the power, man. Elly needs 1 more to do it. Deep center field. That ball is up, and it is out of here. Elly De La Cruz is the 2026 Home Run Derby champion. And the list of guys he beat, man. Trout, Ohtani, Soto. It was a who's who, this Home Run Derby. All 8 of the guys, really notable names. And Elly De La Cruz is your Home Run Derby champion here in 2026. So the Elly De La Cruz takeover has finally commenced. And folks, we are officially on that run to the World Series this season. I feel like we gotta get it. The Reds are playing some good baseball, and they are here to stay. So folks, thank you all for watching episode number 40 of the Cincinnati Reds franchise mode here on MLB The Show 24. If you haven't yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Give a thanks again for watching, and Mamba, forever.